Now there's an announcement for tomorrow. So tomorrow there'll be a bhatti. So bhatti is, yoga and class one after the other for 4 hours that we conduct here in Saket. It's for 4 hours. So that it builds a certain temperature of spiritual light. Just like in a furnace you need a certain temperature for the bricks to uh, what do you say, the pakna, to be mature. So you need this kind of a furnace for your spiritual stage to be mature. And tomorrow the program is, there will be no morning class. 9 a.m. the bhatti starts. 9 to 10 there will be yoga. Then 10 to 11 there will be one session on a revision of an Avyakt Vani, which Santosh Bhai will take. And then 11 to 12 yoga again, and 12 o'clock I will give churning on the Murli in Hindi, and there will be only one class tomorrow. So everybody attend that and join at 9 and sit through the whole bhatti. It will be organized online for 4 hours, and at 1 o'clock we will offer bhog to Baba collectively. So all of you be there and take advantage of the bhatti and create your spiritual stage. Okay? Om Shanti. Today Baba highlights the balance between making a plan and keeping my intellect plain. Yes, so when I have to, when I have to do something, of course there has to be planning. Yes, and what does planning usually entail? So planning is about making choices and decisions, weighing options, and arriving at, what to do. But then after I have made a decision, then it's time for execution. And then, for execution you need a plain buddhi, plain intellect. Because, in the management world they say analysis paralysis. So you need to have an analytical mind, but then if you analyze too much, that is analysis paralysis. So your analysis will only paralyze your whole plan. So we need to first plan, but then after I have made the plan, after I have, evaluated things and arrived at a decision, then just become plain. And when we become plain, what is plain? So then don't create contradictory thoughts in your mind. Don't again go back to whether I chose the right thing, whether had I not chosen this but that it would have been better. Because then that is like sowing the seeds of doubt in your own plan and sabotaging your own plan. So once I have made the plan, then I surrender the plan to Baba, and then I take light and might, I take power and virtues from Baba, and with full faith in the success of the plan, I execute it. I set out to execute it. Let me give you a very simple example. So in the center, we have, Bhatti and Brahma Bhojan, and so tomorrow is also Bhatti and Brahma Bhojan. So tomorrow your program will be different, yes, from every day. I'll tell that at the end. Now, whenever there is a Bhatti and there is Brahma Bhojan, then, we prepare bhog. Now, when we have to prepare bhog, obviously we put thought into it, right? What to make, what vegetables are available in the market these days, or what is it that we can prepare easily, and what will take more time, what will take less time. So there has to be planning for everything. But then once we have made the plan and finalized the list, then we don't go and keep rechecking it. And then we don't go and, again, if not this and we substitute this thing for that thing, it would be better. We don't do that. Once the plan is made, we give it to Baba, and it is like Baba put a stamp on it. And then, the next thing we have to do is execute it. The planning stage is over. So you have to understand that there is a stage of planning and then there is a stage of execution. And once the plan has passed the planning stage, it has to go to the execution stage. And when you put an end to the planning and you stop replanning and replanning, then only can you execute. And in order to execute a plan, you need a plain buddhi. You need Baba's light and might. And if your mind is full of, the work that you have to do, or this option, that option, then your intellect is not connected to Baba. Yes. For example, let's say before sleeping at night, you made a plan for the next day. Yes, let's say you played a plan that I would get up at 4 and then I'll have yoga with Baba, and then I will, get dressed and then cook the meal and then, offer bhog, and then I'll attend the class and then leave for work, and so and so and so. And after that, what do you have to do? Surrender that plan to Baba and sleep well. Or you keep planning again and again. No, if I did that first and this later, it would be better. No, don't do that. So Baba says plan is important, but then becoming plain is also very important after that. And then Baba says that is the recipe for success. Because if you don't plan, you can't be successful. And if after you have planned, you don't surrender the plan and become plain intellect, that plan cannot be successful. And you cannot take power from Baba and do what you needed to do. So this is something that Baba tells us. And then Baba today tells us that I give you a throne and a crown. So you see that in this, so we will be kings in Satyug, right? So there we will have a throne on which we will sit, and then we will have a crown also. And Baba tells about the crown in Satyug, that it is a double crown. Do you know that? So the Satyugi crown is a double crown. And there is a crown of jewels, and then there is a crown of light. So have you seen there is a crown of light behind the deities? So whenever the images of deities are created, then they create a crown of light behind the deities, a halo of light. And Baba says that that halo of light, that crown of light stands for purity. So because the deities are pure, they are shown that crown of purity. And then because the deities are kings, so they are shown the jewel crown. And Baba says, at this time also I give you a crown and a throne in Sangam Yuga. So do you know your crown and throne? And do you understand the importance of a throne? So if there is a king's throne, then it is said that the throne has a lot of power. Technically it's just a seat, but anybody sitting on that seat has a lot of power. And otherwise also we say kursi ka kamal, so the power of the chair on which you sit. So Baba says, at this time also you have a very, very elevated, very powerful throne that I have given you. So Baba has basically given us two thrones at this time. One is the throne here. So when the throne of soul consciousness. So whenever you are soul conscious, you are sitting on your throne. Yes. And when somebody is on the kursi, somebody is on the throne, then everybody listens to them. Yes. So when you are sitting on the throne of soul consciousness, sitting on the seat of the soul, at that time you are in awareness that you are the master, you are the Malik. And then your mind, your sense organs, they all listen to you. And if you forget who you are, then your mind, your intellect or your sense organs, they don't listen to you. So when you're sitting on the throne of soul consciousness, that I am a powerful soul, I am the master of my mind and body. And it is my command that my mind and body have to follow. If you are sitting in that awareness, then your command is followed. Yes. Let's say, there's a judge, and that judge is sitting on his seat in the court, and then he's making a statement. Then that statement has so much of validity, right? But let's say that judge is buying vegetables in the market, and then he makes a statement there. Does it mean that much? It doesn't mean anything. So it's all about sitting on the throne. So you may ask your mind to remember Baba many times, and the mind may not listen to you. But when you sit in the awareness that I am a very powerful soul, I am the child of Shiv Baba, and in that powerful awareness you tell your mind, remember Baba, it will remember Baba. So one throne that Baba gives us in Sangam Yuga is this throne of sitting on the seat of soul consciousness. And then the throne that Baba talks about today is the throne of Baba's heart. Yes, and do you feel that you sit in Baba's heart? Yes. So if you think about it, you see, just see how much Baba loves you. That Baba takes so much care for me, the soul. Baba takes so much care to teach me, to uplift me. Baba takes so much care to restore me to the seat of self-respect. And all of this is an indicator of Baba's love for me, is it not? Yes. And do you have any doubt that you are the one sitting in Baba's heart throne? No. You are on Baba's heart. You are the diamond that sits in the box of Baba's heart. And what is Baba's heart? Baba's heart is a place where you feel the love of all relationships, and that place is brimming with all attainments, all virtues, all powers. So Baba is the ocean of purity, peace, love, happiness. Baba is the ocean of all powers, and Baba is my parent, teacher, Satguru, my brother, sister, guide, everything, mother. So Baba says, when you sit in my heart, there you can feel the love of all relationships, and you can also feel the power of all attainments. And when you sit in Baba's heart, what is your state at that time? You feel very full and powerful. And Baba says that, and from that throne, if you sit on that throne, and from there you command all the 5 elements of nature, you're so peaceful, so powerful, so joyful, that you can send out those vibrations to the whole world, to every soul and to every element of nature. And the law of energy is, energy always flows from high to low. So if you want somebody to receive your energy, you have to vibrate higher. That is the law. So, you cannot be in low energy and then try to connect with the low energy. So, your energy doesn't flow to them. But if you are at a higher energy and then you are just there, then automatically your energy will flow to the elements of nature and to everybody around you. So Baba says, when you are mentally, you switch, you become aware that I, the soul, am sitting in Baba's heart throne. And in this heart throne, I'm full, and I'm full of all virtues, powers, I have the love of all relationships. And you sit in that experience, then automatically you start serving the whole world. And that is your throne, the power of the throne that you sit on. So Baba says, this is the throne that you have, and don't forget to hold on to that throne. So, don't just be there, just sit on that heart throne, whether you're working, talking, you're coming into relationships, you're doing your work, just sit on the heart throne and do everything. So know that I am operating from that place in my consciousness. And then Baba gives us a crown also. Yes. And a crown is a symbol of responsibility. Once a prince wears a crown, he becomes responsible. Then he cannot behave like a prince, he has become the king. And then he has to conduct everything, keeping in mind, conduct himself, keeping in mind how it would affect the whole kingdom. So Baba says that Baba also gives us a crown in Sangam Yuga. And what is the crown? The crown is symbolizing the responsibility of benefiting the whole world. So Baba says it is your responsibility to bring spiritual benefit to the whole world. Yes. Do you remember your crown? Yes. Even if nobody else knows. So the duty of the king is to serve. Yes. And earlier days, kings used to devise many ways to keep their subjects happy. So they understood that it is my duty to ensure that the subjects are taken well care of, and they are protected and safeguarded and everything. And the king did that on his own. The king doesn't need to be told what to do, right? If somebody needs to remind the king every now and then that you have to take care of the subjects, then he's not the king. So the king is supposed to know that it is my responsibility to take care of the subjects. And in earlier days, we had examples of kings who took their job very seriously, and they devised many methods to figure out what causes pain and suffering to their subjects, and like a good parent, they made sure that their subjects are taken care of. And Baba says here, it is you are wearing the crown, and Baba has given me the responsibility to ensure that every soul and all elements of nature are spiritually sustained. So the spiritual sustenance, not the physical sustenance, but the spiritual sustenance of every soul and every element of nature is my duty. And my crown reminds me of that. So I have to keep that crown of responsibility in my awareness. Nobody should need to remind me that, this is your duty. And I should always remember that any soul in front of me, even if they are elder to me in age, physical age, or they are senior to me in terms of professional status or anything or position, still it is my duty. I am wearing the crown, and it is my duty to spiritually serve everybody. And every moment, these 5 elements of nature, everybody is saying, there is air pollution, there is water pollution, and the air and water we need has to be clean. But the air and water needs you. So the 5 elements need you. We thought that we need them and they are impure and we are suffering because of them, but no, we are the ones who are responsible for purifying them with our vibrations. And Baba says, always wear the crown, always be in awareness of your crown and your throne. And you are, so you can always visualize yourself, sitting in Baba's heart and having this responsibility, constant responsibility of serving everyone around you. You cannot say, I ran out of love today, so let me just be blunt today. No, you cannot run out of love. You cannot run out of peace. Yes, there was one time one Mata, and she just messaged at 9 in the evening, and then I told her that it's not a good time to talk, we will talk tomorrow or maybe when there's time. And then she just said that I think that we think that you people never get tired. You people never have you people are never sleepy. And So I said, so the truth is that physically physically maybe you are allowed to be tired and sleepy, and physically you can have some boundaries also, because Baba says that, sleep at a certain time, get up at a certain time. So physical boundaries are there, but never get tired spiritually. So we can never be sleepy and tired spiritually. So it's not like if somebody messages, so of course we can afford to say we will talk tomorrow, or this is not a good time, or maybe I'll call you when I'm free. But I cannot have the liberty to think, how rude is this person, and they are not thinking about what time they're messaging. No, I cannot. Maybe I'm not in a position to talk, but I have to be in a position to give good wishes. I have to be in a position to send peace. I cannot send complaint. I cannot send discontent to that person. So Baba says, however anybody behaves, or however, any situation you're in, it is the crown that you're wearing tells you that you can never shy away from your spiritual duty, and you have to always do that. And your spiritual duty is to give good wishes, good feelings, keep your feelings good, give blessings, send peace and love to everyone. And that is something that you have to keep doing always. And whenever you speak sweetly, you speak knowledgefully, tell them something that elevates them, or you're doing something, then every act of yours should spiritually energize somebody. So Baba says, never forget your crown and throne. And there are many people who say that they choose ordinary life over royalty. They say that I cannot take so much of burden of attention, and I would just like to be ordinary. And even we hear about stories of people of the royal family who couldn't handle the responsibility, and then they wanted to lead ordinary lives. And people today say that being ordinary is the new great. But being great is great, and being ordinary is ordinary always. So, but being great doesn't come just like that. Being great comes with great responsibility, and it comes with honoring your seat. So you have to always honor the seat that you sit on. You have to always keep yourself full by knowing that you're sitting in Baba's heart. And then you have to always fulfill this responsibility of being a Sangam Yugi Brahmin and blessing and nurturing and sustaining everyone around you. So this is Baba's throne and crown. And then today Baba talks about doing everything meaningful and fruitful. So Baba says that whatever you speak and you do is meaningful because you're soul conscious. And when somebody is body conscious, then whatever they do is meaningless. So what does meaningful and meaningless mean? It is not about having literal meaning. It's about being fruitful. Meaningful actions are fruitful actions. So if you say something, for example, today Baba gives an example that people in the world say that a soul remains untainted when they, even when they come into action. So people say that, Atma nirlep hai. So, whatever you do through the body, the sin of that action is not accumulated on the soul. Yes, but Baba says that if you really believed that, then are you encouraging responsible action or are you encouraging corruption? Because if you believe that I did everything through the body and then I remain untainted through my action, and whatever sin I did was not accumulated by me, it was accumulated on the body, and then I leave the body and the body is burnt and the sin is burnt with that, then why would you be discouraged from corruption? So you will do everything through the body and then eventually the body gets burnt. So that means that this belief system is leading us to very corrupt behavior. And there is this thing that I always believe, that what you believe determines how you behave. And people think that beliefs are not important, and when they come to Gyan and we try to tell them that you are a soul, not a body, whatever you do through the body, the sanskars you carry with yourself, they say, so what, how does it matter? But it matters, because what you believe determines how you behave. And if in your awareness you believe that I am a soul, I do everything through the body and the body gets burnt and the sin gets burnt with it and I go clean, then why would you not do everything through the body which gives you temporary attainments? Yes, I killed somebody, looted their money. Temporary attainment I had. Why? What would discourage me from that? And just the police, and then if you can escape the police, you escape the crime. No, but Baba says you can escape the crime, you cannot escape the sin. And Baba tells us this truth, that the soul does everything through the body, and whatever action the soul performs through the body is accumulated, the sin or the good karma of that action is accumulated in the soul, and the soul carries that with itself, and according to that you will get what you get in your next birth. And this is why if you loot somebody, then you will be in a situation where you will be looted next birth. Because that's how it goes, that's you are carrying the sin with you. And Baba says this is why always talk meaningfully, always speak words, propagate belief systems, speak the truth which makes everybody realize why they are in sorrow and what is the way to belong to a world of happiness and peace. Speak words that make somebody responsible for their own actions. And Baba says that is meaningful words, and only when Baba comes can we become soul conscious, and we have the knowledge of the soul, we have the knowledge of Baba, we have the knowledge of drama, and then by doing all of that, through that whole knowledge, we can make our actions meaningful. And you see, everybody thinks that finding an opportunity to bathe in a sacred river at a certain time is a great opportunity, and then you must have done a lot of punya karma to be present for that bathing at a certain time. But Baba says, no, it's not like that. You can wash your body with water, you cannot wash the soul with water, because technically this water cannot reach the soul, touch the soul. And then the sin is accrued by the soul, not by the body. So the only method to purify the soul is to bathe in Baba's remembrance. So only when you connect your mind and intellect in concentrated remembrance of Baba, and you draw the light and might into yourself, that's the only method of purification. Everything else is just meaningless, it is fruitless. I will tell you one incident. There was one session I was conducting offline, and then there were 3 people attending that session. And we were talking about burning our sins through yoga power. Yes, and then there was this one brother in that group, and they were all new, they were doing the course. And then this brother started saying, there's a temple in a certain place, and there if you can tie a thread around a tree, then all your wishes will get fulfilled. And then the other person said, what is the big deal about tying a thread there? So he said, it's in the middle of a jungle, and then there is a lion in that jungle, and only if you can cross the lion and go and tie the thread, then your wish will be fulfilled. And then everybody started paying attention to that. And then they had no interest in learning how to burn our sins through yoga power. And you see, this is how we have been, we have been consumed by meaningless stuff all the time. And then you see, people are very ready to go and face a lion and tie a thread in anticipation of their wish getting fulfilled, but they are not ready to sit quietly in their own space within the family and remember Baba and burn sins. And Baba says this is the only method, and you have to now speak meaningfully, speak that which is the truth, and that which if somebody imbibes, it is going to lead to a result. Because so many people have tied so many threads in so many places, but what is the condition of humanity right now, you see? Yes, and no individual's benefit matters when humanity is in such a bad state. When the world is in such a bad state, even if some parameters of your individual life are okay, it won't matter too much. Because when there is a global, when there's a pandemic, or when there is a war, or when there is a global calamity or a national calamity, then your individual benefits or individual attainments will not matter. And Baba today says people think that, it is a good idea to keep accumulating wealth and this and that, and just think about their future. But Baba says, if you don't do as I say, and you don't think about creating a new world, then whatever you are frantically accumulating will be at the end confiscated by the government, because there will eventually be a war or something, and that money will go to the government. So one needs to understand what are meaningful actions, what are meaningless actions. When you understand the soul, when you understand time, when you understand Baba, you understand karma, only then can you create meaningful actions and teach them to others. Okay, Om Shanti.